Hello everyone, this is Keisha. I did it. I finally did it. I walked away from a job that I absolutely loved in order for me to fulfill the call of God on my life. Just a little short story time. A couple years ago, I had created this Shaped on Purpose coaching program, and I had never done anything like that before. I had some amazing people that was around me that were encouraging me to step out and do it, right? And so I started coaching a young lady, and then halfway through it, she decided that she didn't want to do it anymore. She decided that it was too much for different reasons, right? And so part of that kind of made me feel like, maybe I don't have what it takes. Maybe no one wants to listen to me. No one wants to hear my voice and all these things, right? So long story short, I started working at an organization, and I started working for the state. And then I got an amazing opportunity to work for the VA. And because I'm a veteran, that's right up my lane, that's right up my alley. I love veterans. I love what we have experienced and done and grown through being in the military. And then to give back, I just felt that it was important for me to. And when that opportunity came, I jumped right in there. Thank God I had people that was speaking my name in rooms that I didn't know even existed. So God opened that door, and I started working there, started being able to encourage the veterans as I'm, doing our one-on-one, doing our calls. And it was great that I was able to, do something that really aligns with who I am. So as time went on, I just kept feeling this urge and an unctioning from the Lord to breathe life back into Shaped on Purpose. That there are certain women that are still waiting for me to come out of hiding, to stop hiding behind, oh, I'm working for the VA, I have this, I'm doing this. And the Lord was like, no, I haven't changed my mind. So when I talk so much about the book that he wrote so long ago, according to Psalm 139, that's one of my favorite scriptures. And when he wrote that book, he didn't change his mind. He didn't blot it out like, oops. No, he still had me being a life coach, me being an identity midwife, to help the women who feel lost, stuck, unseen, to call them forth, to call them out of hiding. And so a lot of times he'll allow us to go through things because we'll have an understanding of when they are in hiding, like what it feels like to be hidden, what it feels like to hide, what it feels like to not feel like you're good enough, to not feel like you're worthy, to not feel all these things, all these lies, right? When I put in my resignation letter, I was just so amazed at how much love I got from the organization, from the supervisors, from my coworkers, my colleagues, like all the things. Like I'd only been there 8 months, and I got so many private messages and group messages where they were like, you're gonna be missed. You just don't know how much you have poured into me. You don't know how you have been a light. I had someone who I didn't even really have a working relationship with. He kind of, the people who help you in the beginning when you're getting set up in a job, they're helping you get the systems and getting your password and all that to get into the different systems and everything. Well, here it is 8 months later, and he's like, you're my whole emotional support person. Now you're leaving. Wait, what? Like, I had no idea. He said, you're one of the most professional, positive people I've ever met. And I was just like, wow. So all this time, the enemy was lying to me, telling me that my voice didn't matter, was lying to me, telling me that You know, you can just be quiet because nobody wants to hear you. You know, you're not going to change no lives. You're not going to just sit back in the corner. And, you know, but there was still something on the inside of me that was just burning in my heart, because I knew that God has so much more for me, and that I was just going to walk by faith and not by what I could see or even what I was hearing in my own ears. So a lot of times the enemy will show you his hand. I'm telling you, he will show you his hand. And so basically, it's really the opposite of what he's saying. So when he's saying, oh, your voice is not important, your voice don't matter, baby, your voice matters. That means you are important. That means he's afraid for you to know exactly who you are. That means he's trembling when you step foot into your calling. When you understand your identity is in Christ and not in yourself, not in what you do, but who you are. Baby, let me tell you. So you see that poster back there? The full armor of God. I just mounted up, get up under the shadow of the Almighty, and just put on my helmet of salvation, my breastplate of righteousness, my sword of the Spirit, my shield of faith, my belt of truth, my feet are sharp with the preparation gospel of peace, and let's go. Because there are people that are waiting. There are women waiting for me to no longer be afraid, to no longer shut my mouth, to get on these videos and speak up. And so this is what I'm going to do. So regardless if the videos seem cheesy or I'm not saying whatever, like, no more of that. I'm just going to post. And so, you know, when you do things, you just have to be obedient, whether you like it or not. Because at the end of the day, what is it going to cost you if you're not obedient? Whose life will it affect if you do not do what God is calling you to do? Whose life will it affect? Not just yourself. You don't know how many hundreds and millions and thousands of women, or men if that's who you're called to, that their lives will be affected because you didn't do what God has called you to do. So I'm calling you out. The women who feel lost, who feel stuck, who feel unseen, who've forgotten their identity. I'm going to help you rediscover your identity, because it's in Christ. It's not in you. It's not in your workflow. It's not in what you do. It's not in your titles. It's none of that. It's in who Christ called you from the foundations of the earth. He called you. He said you were adopted. You're justified. You're qualified. He doesn't qualify the call. He calls the qualified. Like, he's already equipped you with everything you have need of. And so there's a certain dynamic of your life, all of your experiences, your good, bad, or indifferent, everything that you've gone through, everything that you've experienced, it's not for naught. It is for a reason. And the very thing that you think will disqualify you is what makes you qualify. When you show up fully in who God called you to be. Not in you hiding, not in you hiding behind your title. And so if this is resonating with you at all, and you find yourself stuck, you find yourself in a place where you're not even sure of, I know there's more. I know there has to be more. It can't just be this. And so when you fully walk in confidently in who you are, it's just a way you carry yourself. It's the way your head is held high. Like, there's nothing better. And I don't regret walking away from my job. And not just that I walked away. I did what I was supposed to do. And when God released me, he released me. But I got so much confirmation through people who they saw so much in me that I was just being myself. I didn't even realize how many lives I was affecting. So now I'm thinking, how many lives will I affect if I don't do this? If I don't call these women forth? If I don't call them out of hiding? what will happen with their life? Some people will not move, or their lives will not shift until they hear the sound of your voice. So this is your call to action. This is your call for approval. This is giving you permission to say yes to who God has called you to be. And if this is you and you need somebody to walk alongside of you, please feel free to reach out. Send me a message and we'll get on a quick 15-minute discovery call. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I'm not meant for everybody. But if this resonates with you, then reach out. All right, I'm gonna let you go. Enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you so much for listening. And I appreciate everyone who's reached out thus far, and would love to be a part of what God is doing in this season and in this hour. Be blessed.